actually did this earlier, but I had technical difficulties, and that video is somewhere, but it's not on my damn camera. Don't know where. You didn't miss much. I took the tape off of my table. It was painter's tape. It didn't leave any residue or anything, and I was pretty sure it wasn't going to. And then I hammered a little bit. So you don't get the absolute joy of watching me take tape off of the table, but you do still get to listen to me hammer a little bit, I guess. I had the cover off today, and the kittens decided that this is the place to be, apparently. So I'm going to have to vacuum this table. So I'll put a little, if I figure out how to do the little card thingies on YouTube, I'll put one up here, like a little circle or something with an eye in it, I think. I think that's what those are. For part one of this, I put tape all over my table, all over the diamonds to cover the diamonds. I wanted to see, am I playing my bank shots by feel as much as I think I am? In other words, do I need the diamonds? I went through all this stuff a few years ago, you know, mapping out all the shots according to the diamonds. Well, that was a few years ago, and I had the impression that nowadays I don't use those a lot. And pretty much the experiment showed me that I'm correct. I don't use them a lot. There are some exceptions there. First thing I want to do real quick here, though, is just talk about my terminology on banks, because I don't know if I've really touched on it all. If I have 20 to 8, this type of a shot right here, this type of bank, I call this a short cross corner shot. I call this, I got to call it something, right? So I call it a short cross corner shot. Anything from up here, 40 to 16, in here, in other words, in this area, I call this just a regular cross corner shot. Now, the reason I make a difference between those two is that, well, I guess because these are a little bit harder, but no, the main reason I do it is down here, the ball has more of a tendency to shorten up and sometimes even back up if hit too hard. So I watch that, and I give the shots different categories, different names. But down here, a bank shot where the cue ball origin is along this rail, in other words, this type of a bank, I call this a long cross corner shot, something like this. I call this, and these are difficult. And these are the kind of shots where I started kind of wishing I had diamonds sometimes to look at. And then I could kind of check my work, I guess. I know that 7 diamonds up to 2.8 is a good bank. It's going to come close most of the time. But I didn't have the diamonds, they were covered up. So I wasn't able to like check my work on that. I just, you know, I'm trying to play by feel. I'm trying to look at the angles by feel, which I kind of feel like I was doing. Can't tell, but that's okay. Down here, this type of a bank, this way, cross corner, I call these extended cross corners. And these I absolutely missed my diamonds because I don't know these shots. And this is the only way that I guesstimate at them, is lining up the way I talked about it. I have a video called Extended Banks. If I figure out how, I'll put a thing there. And that's all I know about these banks. I don't know what looks right on one of these banks, except as far as my diamonds go. So I did miss my diamonds quite a bit on this type of a shot. So those are cross corners. The cross eyes are kind of the same way as far I have the short cross sides with the cue ball starting in this area, and this is a short cross side. For the same reason that I have two different kinds of cross corners. Coming in at this steep of an angle, they have a tendency to come even shorter than they normally would if hit too hard. These shots down here, where the cue ball starting in this area, these are just regular cross sides. Now I didn't need or miss or anything diamonds, and I don't know if I mentioned, on these short cross corners, these regular cross corners. Kind of a little bit wished I had them on the long cross corners. Short cross sides, didn't need them. Regular cross sides, didn't need them. I'm either seeing the angle or I'm not. I'm not even paying any attention to what the diamonds are. Along here, going cross side now, I call these extended cross sides, and I wanted my diamonds back again. The other way I know how to shoot these shots, again, is by guesstimation, and that's lining up this pocket to 1.5, here to here, and it's things like that. And I didn't have any of those references, and I wish that I did, because I don't see the angles as well on these shots. This all kind of makes sense, because I don't shoot the shots that often, especially seems like not at firm speed. So there's the short cross corners, regular cross corners, or cross sides. Sorry guys, I'm not going to redo that. Short cross sides, regular cross sides, extended cross sides. Then I got shots with a straight back. Straight backs, it turned out I didn't need any diamonds at all on the straight backs. I either saw the angles on this one, like this is just a regular straight back. If the cue ball's along here, didn't need the diamonds, didn't miss them. And even on the extended ones, if you watch my extended banks video, you kind of, I bitch a lot about how flaky everything is. Where one day it might be from this diamond to right here, but the next day it might be from this diamond to right here, and everything is really flaky, and so really tough to memorize what all these mappings are, and kind of useless to memorize them when they're changing all the time, depending on the phase of the moon, humidity, and all that. So what I found was on these kind of shots here, just like all the other ones, I either see the angle or I don't. I either hit it or I don't. There's no mapping stuff out, checking my work. And so on any straight back, the extended straight backs, down here, sometimes you'll hear me call these really extended straight backs, as opposed to up here, which is just regular extended straight backs. But they're all kind of the same. I'm doing my best to play them by feel, and it turns out that I kind of am. These are all things I was kind of expecting when I started my experiment. The one thing that I wasn't expecting, and really I should have been, I just literally didn't think about it, is slow speed banks. Slow speed banks for me are almost all about accuracy. So it's almost, if I'm going to cross side this one ball at a slow speed, it's almost all about getting this one to hit the cushion right in front of the second diamond. And I need that second diamond to have something to aim at slow speed. And so I absolutely got to hit it that time. I absolutely missed having the diamonds on slow speed bank, because it's all about, for me, it's all about looking at the diamonds and cutting them in half and things like that. All the mirror photon stuff, it's all about that. And I didn't have any of that. So it was kind of a guess. I don't see the angles just by looking at the table for slow speed banks. I guess because I never had to and never even tried, because I always had the diamonds there to go by. And I will from now on. I'll have the diamonds to go on. That did kind of surprise me, but if I thought about it, ahead of time, it wouldn't surprise me anymore. Because that makes perfect sense. I don't play these slow speed banks really by feel at all. If I have a way to find the exact point I want to hit by adding diamonds and subtracting and square roots and all that crap, then that's what I do. Kind of interesting. The tape's going to stay off of the table until after Derby City. I think it's probably going to go back on after Derby City, so I can work on the extended shots like this. So I can work on seeing this angle to bank that 2 down in that corner without having to be relying on it being lined up with these diamonds. I think I can do that, and I don't think it'll be too awful painful. I'm not looking to master any of these shots. You know, that one, I'm not looking to master it. I just would like to be as good just shooting just by looking at the rails and the angles. I'd like to be just as good doing that as I am by going out the diamonds for those kind of shots. And I don't think that's asking too much. I think I can do that. If I can't, then I can't. I really should have turned the heater on this table before it's 200,000 degrees below zero outside. So down here it's probably, I don't know, 40 something. And of course my table's still pretty damn cold. I'm just using that as an excuse. It may not really be one, but that's what I have. But this is, you know, part 2 and the end of my whole tail of the tape experiment. It's interesting to me. I mentioned before, I've never done it before. Since I've tried an awful lot of shit in my life, it's not surprised that I've never tried that before. But I hadn't, and now I have. And the results came out pretty much as I expected, except for the slow speed banks, which I didn't even consider. I didn't even think about. So anyway, that's it. You guys have a good night.